Hello everyone, welcome back to the Point of View of 1530 series where we review the games from Candidates 2026. We are reviewing the journey of Indian chess player Praggnanandhaa R. Right now it's round 2. Praggnanandhaa played with Chinese GM Wei Yi. Wei Yi played with white pieces while Pragg played with black pieces. Alright, now let's go into the game. Wei Yi started with pawn to e4, e6, d4, d5, French defense, knight to c3, knight to f6, e5 and knight d7. f4 played by Wei, c5 challenging the center, trying to get a break, knight to f3, knight to c6, bishop e3, bishop e7, pretty standard moves actually. French defense opening, queen to d2, a6, bishop to d3, short castle, short castle. Alright, right now we are 10 moves down. Both of the sides have achieved the piece development and the safety of king. Only black's c8 bishop is remaining undeveloped. Now the question is, how is it going to get developed? Of course, there is an option of playing pawn to b5 and pawn to c4, then trying to develop by bishop to b7, or you can challenge the center of white and then try to push the pawn on e6 and then try to remove the knight, which seems like a long way. So I hope the bishop goes through the b7 route. So black plays pawn to f6, very interesting. Directly challenging the center, pawn captures and knight captures. So I'm starting to think that bishop now has two ways. King h1, always a good move. My coach once told me that king h1 is never a waiting move, or in case of long castle, king b1 is never a waiting move. It always ends up in a, basically it helps you strengthen your position. And of course it is used to understand the opponent's strategy, like how is he going to turn the direction of the game. Alright, so black plays pawn to b6. Indeed, black is going to develop the bishop from b7 route. Knight to e5, creating an outpost for white, and knight sits strong on e5. Queen to c7, trying to support the c6 knight. Rook to e1, rook a e1, bishop to d6, eyeing the battery, knight takes knight, queen takes knight, bishop to e2. Rook a7, very interesting move, rook lift for one square, so that rook can be swinged to f5, bishop to f3, trying to attack the d5 and pinning the d5 pawn. Rook f7 played by Praggnanandhaa as expected, swinging the rook, pawn to f5, attacking the center again, pawn to c4. So black has avoided the exchange of c pawn and pushed it ahead. Bishop to g5, trying to attack the knight and also opening the path of e1 rook to attack the e6 pawn, which is now supported only by the c8 bishop. Black plays bishop to b4. White plays queen to e2. Bishop takes c3, pawn takes pawn, and rook moves to e7. Pawn takes bishop. Rook to e6. Queen to d2. Knight to e4, trying to attack the queen, bishop takes knight, rook takes rook, rook takes rook, rook takes bishop. The position seems equal to me right now. Black has 6 pawns, a light squared bishop, a rook centrally placed and a safe squared queen, while white has a double pawn on c file, although there are 6 pawns and a rook, a dark squared bishop, so there is a opposite colored bishop combination, and the queen on d2. More or less, whenever there are opposite colored bishops on the board, it tends to be a draw. Now let's see. Bishop to f4, rook to e7, bishop e5. Again, e5 square proves to be an outpost for white throughout the game. Queen to g6, queen to f4. Rook attacks the queen by playing rook f7. Now, the only choice for queen is to play queen c1 so that it can protect the rook. But you can also capture the rook and, exchange everything. So, queen takes queen, rook takes queen, king takes rook. Now, 6 pawns, opposite color bishops. Should be a draw. Right? King g1, bishop f5, king f2, bishop takes pawn. Still it's a draw because even though white becomes 2 pawns down, as long as the bishops are controlling the developing squares of pawns, it's a draw. Bishop to c7, pawn to b5, pawn to a3, king to e6. So white is going to try and put all their pawns on dark square, while black is going to try and put all their pawns on light square. Thanks to their bishops. King to e3, king f5. Black seems to be active here, but yes, it's a dead draw position. Pawn to h3, pawn to h5, pawn to g3, pawn to g5, bishop to d8 trying to attack the g5 pawn, bishop to d3, pawn to h4 and king to g4 trying to attack the g3 pawn. Bishop takes g5, king takes pawn. Again, seems like a draw. Bishop d8, bishop e4, bishop e7, king g2, bishop d8, king f1, king d2, king f2, bishop e7. Clearly they are repeating the moves. Black tried to enter the white's territory through the route of king moving from f2, f1, but white stops that by playing king to d2. So there is no way black can penetrate into white's position. So they are just moving the bishops for now. King f3, bishop e8, and that's a draw. King f3, bishop d8, and that's a draw. Alright, so game 2 without any hardships, Pragg has managed to secure a draw against a strong GM, Wei Yi from China. And that's it from today. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and stay tuned for the third round action. We will be back soon.